He is the auxiliary bishop of Astana, Kazakhstan, and he's well known for his defense of traditional church teaching. He recently appealed to the Pope over the Pope's decision to allow the laity voting rights at a Synod of Bishops. Joining me now, Bishop Athanasius Schneider. Your Excellency, thank you for being here. You recently gave an interview in Rome to journalist Diane Montagna, in which you asked Pope Francis to rescind these new norms, which give equal voting rights to bishops and laity at the October Synod of Bishops. Why are you so concerned about this? I mean, isn't this synod about listening to the people?
It is simply against the hierarchical structure of the Church. Such equal voting rights of laity and the hierarchy is confusing. It's putting the laity on the same level, at least during the voting system. It had never happened in the history of the Church. This is a typical Protestant invention by Martin Luther and the other reformers who gave the same rights and abolished the distinction, the hierarchical distinction between the hierarchy, the ministerial priesthood, the shepherds of the Church, and the laity, the flock. And therefore, these rights, voting rights, are undermining very clearly the divine structure of the Church. And therefore, it is the duty of, I would say, every bishop to raise his voice, especially of the cardinals, and to ask the Pope to rescind these.
Your Excellency, you have referred to this decision as a radical novelty. Why do you think the decision was made? What's at play here?
Yes, it is evidently because this is a Protestant method. I repeat, as I say, it introduced Martin Luther and the other Protestants such synodal meetings with equal voting rights. And therefore, it is evident those who introduce now in the upcoming October Synod the same method as the Protestants did in the Reformation. It is evidently to Protestantize the Catholic Church evermore.
These new norms were announced in April by Synod Secretary General Cardinal Mario Grech and the General Rapporteur, Cardinal Jean-Claude Hollerich. Also part of this is the decision to prioritize women and young people among the laity, which makes up about 25% of the vote at the Synod. Doesn't this undermine the much advertised Synod of Bishops? And how radical a departure is this, these new norms, from the way synods have been practiced in the past?
This method is clearly a worldly style of this world, not of the Church of God, because we can consult lay people, but depending on their quality, on their proven faith, on their proven knowledge, then we can ask their advice, but not giving them voting rights. It's against the divine structure of the Church. I repeat, we can, and when there are, and there are, good, qualified lay people, even women, and maybe younger people who have some qualities in the spiritual life, but it has to be proven, not simply to take this worldly method to take in a percentage of women and young people. This is not according to the Catholic tradition at all. I repeat, this is a worldly parliament style.
You talk in interviews I've recently read about Pope Paul VI's vision of a synod. How will the October Synod differ from the late Pope's thoughts on the synod and whatever synodality is?
It's very much differing because Pope Paul VI, I quoted in my interview with Diane Montagna, his statements on the Synod of Bishops from 71. It was the second meeting, and he instituted these bishops of the Synod of Bishops, Paul VI, and in 71 he warned and remind the bishops to do their task as teachers of the flock. So this is a difference. So they had to teach the lay people clearly. He reminded, and then he reminded them they had to teach clarity, not ambiguity, and said the church has to transmit the integrity of the tradition of the apostles and of the immutable faith of the Catholic Church. And then he added this important phrase, the church is in this point always strongly conservative, traditional, and because of this, that the church is faithful to tradition, she will never get old. She will be young.
Your Excellency, when you say you'd like these norms rescinded, exactly what are you asking Pope Francis to do? And what about the College of Cardinals? Do they have the power to act to return this synod to a Synod of Bishops?
Well, I ask clearly to rescind this norm of the Secretariat of the Synod of Bishops, who grant the equal voting rights to lay people together with the bishops. This is my formulation, and this is the very necessary that the Pope will rescind these. And the College of Cardinals, of course, they have no power over the Pope, because we are a monarchical structure of the church, not a conciliar, and therefore the cardinals, they are the closest advisors of the Pope, the College of Cardinals. This is their task. They have to respectfully remind the Pope to abolish these norms because it is undermining seriously the divine structure of the
Bishop, are other bishops joining you in this? I mean, have they added their voice to your plea? And I mean, we know where this is headed. You adjust who can vote, and then you selectively choose the people who can vote, and then the agenda is practically all sewn up. So are other bishops concerned, as you are, about the norms and the way that this is proceeding?
Yes, there are bishops who are concerned, but until now, I have not known that they raise publicly their voices and their concerns. Therefore, I think that the cardinals who have more authority in the church, more responsibility, they have to raise their voice respectfully and remind the Pope of his duty to maintain clarity in the structure of the church. And because the church exists to resolve the doubts in doctrine and moral, and not to create and to raise new doubt.
We will leave it there. Bishop Athanasius Schneider, thank you for being here. His new book, The Catholic Mass, Steps to Restore the Centrality of God in the Liturgy, by Bishop Schneider, is available everywhere, online and at bookstores. Thank you, Your Excellency.
You're welcome.